Some family members of the victims from that Buffalo grocery store shooting last year filed a wrongful death lawsuit against 6 different social media companies. Now, the suit accuses some pretty big names here: Meta, Alpha, Discord, Reddit, all of providing a platform that promoted violence while maximizing their ad revenue. According to the lawsuit, the shooter was radicalized by algorithms on the social media sites that he used, which fed him, and I'm quoting here, increasingly racist, anti-Semitic, and violence-inducing content. Peyton Gendron, a self-proclaimed white supremacist, pleaded guilty to killing 10 people and injuring 3 others. This is at the Tops supermarket in Buffalo last year. Everyone he killed was black. Our legal analyst, Danny Savalos, is joining us now to help us understand what's happening here. So, Danny, help us break this down. What exactly are the victims' families claiming going after these social media companies?
Well, primarily they're claiming a kind of products liability, a design defect in these products, and the products being the social media companies. We don't think of them as products because, for the most part, we don't pay for them. They're free. But the general rule is, if the product is free, you, the user, are the product. And that's exactly what it is with social media. But by alleging products liability or a design defect, they're essentially trying to get around some of the restrictions on suing social media companies, for example, due to the bar against liability by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. So there are a number of different barriers or obstacles. These are both basically workarounds. And one of the things that's really interesting is that every civil lawsuit, and I file civil lawsuits myself, is premised on 3 prongs. You need all 3 for a really good one, and you rarely have all 3. You need someone to be liable, you need damages, and you need what are called deep pockets, an ability to pay those damages. This is a case where liability is lacking, but you certainly have deep pockets and horrible damages. These companies have millions and millions upon millions of dollars. The problem is tying the liability to these companies. So in some cases, it's worth throwing it up against the wall and seeing what happens.
You have to wonder, though, when you have big-name companies like this, whether something like this could be precedent-setting, which would, I would imagine, be a problem for companies that operate in this space. Do you think there could be a precedent here? Does it pave the way for victims or families of victims in other shootings to go after social media companies?
The potential for precedent is breathtaking here, because if social media companies end up being on the hook, not necessarily for what other people post, but again, this is what we call creative pleading. The argument here is that there's an algorithm, or the way these social media companies are set up, they drive people towards these other bad actors and allow them to get together and share ideas. So it's not so much the speech itself on there, it's not so much holding them liable for what other people say, it's more about, and again, this is a very creative lawsuit, the idea that they have an algorithm, and by defectively designing that algorithm, that is what drove people to this evil conduct. It's a creative theory of liability. The problem with creative theories of liability is that they aren't always successful.
We will see how it all shakes out. Definitely something worth keeping an eye on. Danny Savalos with us tonight. Appreciate you, Danny.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.